Good morning, second grade. It is Friday, the last day in this week, and so we are on lesson 147, and I have a surprise for you today. We're only doing one side of the math page today. I thought that I'd give you a little bit of the break. So you only have to do page 293 today. You do not have to do the back side. You get a break. Now, in a few minutes, I'll talk to you about a few of the things that I wanted to talk about on that page, and then I'm going to go over just a little bit in our lesson, so it'll be very short today. You need to try to go over the 4 family on your own. Try to do it without looking. Let's go ahead and go over our facts that we have here. 1 dozen things equals blank things. 1 year equals about how many weeks? Boiling point of water equals Fahrenheit. Normal body temperature equals blank Fahrenheit. 1 year equals blank days. 1 year equals blank month. 1 pound equals ounces. 1 gallon equals quarts. 1 pint equals cups. 1 day equals hours. 1 hour equals minutes. 1 minute equals seconds. 1 week equals days. Freezing point of water equals 1 yard equals feet. 1 foot equals inches. 1 yard equals inches. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and actually say it. 1 leap year equals 366 days. 1 yard equals 36 inches. 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 yard equals 3 feet. Freezing point of water equals 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 week equals 7 days. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. 1 day equals 24 hours. Next one. 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. 1 yard equals 12 months. 1 year equals 365 days. Normal body temperature equals 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling point of water equals 212 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 year equals about 52 weeks. And then one of our new ones that I don't have a card for was 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So I hope that was helpful and that you can continue to work on that. Now, I want to talk about, just real quick, our estimating, our rounding. And that's when you'll see a problem that looks like this on your paper. So you have 43 plus 16, and they ask you to estimate. Again, estimate means to round. So in your mind, have your number scale 10 to 100. Sometimes I like to write it to figure out where my numbers fall. And then I also like to write 0 to 4, round down, and 5 to 9, round up. I like to put that on my paper just so that I can help keep track. So we'll look at our first number and you see 43. Where does 43 fall? It falls right here. You can find it in between 40 and 50. 40, 41, 42, 43. So up above, I put 40 and 50. This just helps me to keep track of where I am. I'm choosing between these two 10s for my estimated problem. Now, I underline the number in the ones place and I decide. And I decide, where can you find 3? Is it here or is it here? 5 to 9. And we know 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have to round down. Which one of these tens place number is the smaller number? It is 40. So we're going to write 40 under our problem, and we're going to add our plus sign, and now we're going to look at 16. Where do you find 16 in our problem? 16 falls in between here, 10 and 20. So again, I'll write 10 and 20 above the 16. My next step is to underline the 6, and I have to decide, where would I find 6? Is it 0 to 4 or 5 to 9? 5, 6. And so it tells us I have to round up to the higher 10. Which one of those would be the higher 10? You should have chosen 20. Good. 20 is the bigger number. Now I can estimate or add my estimated number. You have 40 plus 20. Now we know 0 plus 0 is 0. Now let's add the tens place. 4 plus 2 is 6, and our answer is 60. Now, if you need any more help with that, you can always Marco Polo me, and I can real quick give you a little tutorial on that. Don't be afraid to ask. This is new, and sometimes it's just hard to remember the steps that you need to take, but I'd be so happy to help you. Now, on your math page today, this would be the last thing that I want to talk about. On your math page, you saw clocks. Now, they asked you your first time. The first clock was set to this time. All right, so they asked you what time it was. My hour hand is at 9. My minute hand will start here and count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's 9:25. Now, the question they asked for the middle clock, they said, what time would it be an hour later? Which hand do we move? Do we move the hour hand or do we move the minute hand? They asked for 1 hour later. So I move the hour hand. Good. Later. So we go higher up. So if I go higher up one spot, it should have been 10, and this still stays the same because they didn't ask us to move the minute hand. So it's 10:25. Now, from here, they asked for us to do an hour and also a half an hour. So again, let's do the first hour because they asked for an hour. So we move our hour hand one spot. So far it's on the 11, but they also said to add another half hour. What amount would it be for a half an hour? How many minutes is that? That's half of our clock. How many minutes would be in half of our clock? Remember, it goes all the way down to the 6. So we'll start here and we'll count to the 6 just so we know how many minutes are in half of the clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Half an hour is 30 minutes. So we'll start with our minute hand, and they are asking us to move it 30 minutes. So we'll start here and we start counting by 5s. Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now look at the time. If you notice, it's not on the 12 yet. It's almost on the 12. So it still stays with a smaller hour. So we're at 11, and let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Whoops, I didn't do that right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So it's 11:55. So that should have been your time for the third clock. Now down at the bottom, they're asking you to find 1/4 of the boroughs. Remember, the first thing that you do when you're looking at that is you're going to count up all the boroughs. And there were, let me show you. Let's count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there were 8 boroughs, and you make a subtraction problem. Remember, they asked for 1/4, and you're going to put of how many they asked us. 1/4 of 8. How do we figure out how many would be in one group? Remember, there are 4 groups. So we can count by 4s until we get to 8. 4, 8. So in each group, there will be 2 donkeys. This is really bad, but here are my donkeys. So here's one group. Now I could have, let's look, this would be another group, this would be another group, and this would be another group. Now notice there are 4 groups. However, they only want you to show one group. So you can only circle 2 donkeys. Don't circle any more than that. Well, that's all you have to do on that page today, and your math time is over. The other thing that I wanted you to do is to try to get on a math website and work on some math facts so you can look at cool math games, or there's a new one that I put on my page. It's called turtlediaries.com. So you can look that page up, and that has a lot of fun math games that you should try out. Have a great day.